NASA just discovered the most frightening planet in the universe. Since the very first exoplanets were discovered in the 1990s, a plethora of strange and wondrous worlds have been uncovered orbiting distant stars outside our solar system. While we love our home and planet Earth, wouldn't it be an exciting opportunity to see a bizarre exoplanet? You might get lucky, as nearly half of the Sun-like stars out there are thought to have the ability to sustain life, with thousands confirmed and the number of exoplanets discovered every day increasing. In our galaxy, there are approximately 300 million potentially habitable worlds. But don't pack your bags just yet. As these strange planets reveal, you could be in for a holiday from hell. Thanks to plenty of new exoplanet-hunting spacecraft, there could be plenty more unusual worlds discovered in the future years. Let's look at the top 10 most frightening planets discovered by NASA. Number 10. HD 189773b, where it rains glass sideways. This nightmarish world is only 64 light-years distant from Earth, making it the nearest hot Jupiter to our planet. Although it appears to be a rich dark blue marble drifting serenely in space, you would quickly regret it if you were to visit this gigantic gas giant. You'd be ripped to shreds by glass rain and being whirled violently by winds hitting 8,700 kilometers per hour. The planet's lovely blue color is a reflection of silicate in its atmosphere, silicate that forms glass grains when heated by the planet's deathly 1,300 degrees centigrade temperature. So, if you miraculously managed to survive a downpour of glass, you would certainly die of the heat. Number 9. TOI 849b, a world stripped bare. It's no fun at all on TOI 849b, which NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite TESS discovered in 2020. This exoplanet orbits its star so closely that a year only takes 18 hours to pass. On the other hand, constant New Year parties are pointless because there is no atmosphere, and the 1,530 degrees centigrade heat would melt the desserts. But it's the unique hybrid aspect of TOI 849b that makes it so peculiar. It's about the size of Neptune, but it's thick and rocky rather than gaseous. In fact, it's the most giant rocky exoplanet yet discovered, 40 times the size of Earth. It could even be the first Chthonian planet discovered. What do I mean by that? It is the exposed core of a gas giant whose atmosphere has been blown away. Number 8. WASP-12b, a puffed-up planet in a death spiral. This one is a celestial body destined for self-destruction. WASP-12b is heading relentlessly inwards towards doom at the hands of its yellow dwarf host star, just 3 million years from its fiery annihilation. According to new research, the planet, which is 600 light-years away in the Auriga constellation, has begun wobbling and warping under the pull of the star's gravity. In contrast, powerful stellar radiation has led it to inflate up to the point of collapsing. Number 7. Rogue worlds, exoplanets on the loose. Many exoplanets are frightening and uninhabitable, and they come in a variety of sizes, colors, and densities, yet they always follow a pattern. They orbit a star. Or at least we thought they all did. While the majority of planets are bound in orbit around their star, some worlds are free to traverse the cosmos. Life on these nomads floating in space is dark and frigid without a parent star to light and warm them. One of the goals of NASA's Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, which is set to launch in 2025, will attempt to discover these hard-to-detect rogue planets. OT-44, approximately 550 light-years away in the constellation Chameleon, is one such planet. This cosmic wanderer is 11 times the size of Jupiter and is predicted to have dust, rock, and ice-covered circumstellar disk. Another is OGLE 2016 BLG 1928, which was recently discovered. It's one of the most miniature objects ever discovered using microlensing techniques, and it's likely smaller than Earth. Number 6. 55 Cancri e, a diamond planet. This exoplanet orbiting the 55 Cancri A, a Sun-like host star, could be a real find. The first super-Earth observed around a main sequence star was assumed to be so rich in carbon that its interior was thought to be of diamond due to enormous pressure and a sweat-breaking 2,700 degrees centigrade temperature. Recent research has cast doubt on the diamond theory, demonstrating that there is less carbon than assumed initially. But the nature of 55 Cancri e remains a mystery and a source of heated debate. But we find the theory very cool. Imagine mining on this planet, only that the entire mine is a diamond. Number 5. TRES-2b, the darkest exoplanet. It's so dark. Its shape is barely discernible. Light just seems to fall into it. Hitchhiker's Ford prefect may have been referring to Hot Black's Desiato's limo ship, but he may just as well have been referring to TRES-2b. It was discovered in 2011 by NASA's Kepler Space Telescope and is the darkest known exoplanet, reflecting less than 1% of any light it comes into contact with. TRES-2b is the darkest planet or moon ever discovered, orbiting a star 750 light-years away in the direction of the constellation Draco. It's blacker than the blackest lump of coal, and it's darker than any dark acrylic paint you could use. The principal author, David Kipping of the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, stated, "It's just crazy how dark this planet is." Number 4. Kelt 9b, the hottest exoplanet. The exoplanet Kelt 9b, a Jupiter-like exoplanet, is so hot that it's hotter than many stars. It orbits so near its sun that its surface heats up to 4,300 degrees Celsius, hot enough to produce atomic iron and titanium in its atmosphere, and a year is only a day and a half. Researchers have discovered that the tremendous temperatures on the planet's day side cause hydrogen gas molecules to split apart, only to recombine when they flow to the slightly colder indefinite night side before being torn apart again when they move back into the inferno. Number 3. HR 5183b, the planet with the maddest orbit. While we have seen planets that revolve around their stars in an insanely less amount of time, HR 5183b is taking its time orbiting its star. It's a galloping giant, thrice the mass of Jupiter, that circles the Sun in 74 years, which is much more than Saturn's 29 Earth years, but close to Uranus's 84 years. What's remarkable is its peculiar orbit, which sees it linger on the outskirts of its system before zigzagging into the heart, passing within a hair's breadth of its host star before tearing away. Its irrational behavior has earned it the title Whiplash Planet. It's also been compared to a wrecking ball because of its potential to destroy any other planets in the system that are attempting to orbit more conventionally. Number 2. K2-18b, where a swim may vaporize you. K2-18b, with a radius twice that of Earth and a mass 8 times that of Earth, had been a leading contender for an Earth-like exoplanet for ages. Thus, it was a great surprise when water was detected in its atmosphere in 2019. We discovered a rocky planet orbiting in its star's habitable zone for the first time, with liquid water potentially pooling on its surface. But before we could fantasize about swimming in exotic seas, there was the possibility that K2-18b would be more like the considerably less welcoming mini-Neptune, worlds with a thick hydrogen atmosphere, an aqueous layer, and a rocky iron core with pressures and temperatures far too high to keep us alive. According to new research, planets resemble a gaseous mini-Neptune. Still, they are instead rocky planets covered in overheated, supercompressed seas where the water lies somewhere between liquid and gas and are capped by a steamy water vapor atmosphere, which could exist in the third zone. Alas, we will have to put our beachwear away for the time being. Before we reveal the name of the topmost frightening exoplanet, imagine waking up every morning to a sky eternally giving off a Monday blues vibe. Is it amusing or depressing? Unlike the vibrant skies that are soft on the eyes on Earth, this next planet can be a bit extreme for eyesight. Number 1. HAT P7b, an ultra-hot Jupiter, dark as charcoal with a sapphire sky. HAT P7b is significantly bigger than Jupiter and has an orbital plane tilted 108 degrees compared to its host star, indicating that it is virtually in a polar orbit. It is so near to the star that a year is less than 3 days in this world. It's actually 20 times nearer to the star than the Earth is to the Sun. Temperatures on HAT P7b surpass 2,200 degrees centigrade during the day, hotter than most other stars. As a result, the exoplanet is classified as an ultra-hot Jupiter. But it's also one of the darkest planets known yet, with a color similar to charcoal and the ability to absorb over 97% of visible light. Living in this world would be equivalent to living in a horror house. Which of these planets did you find the most dreadful? Given a chance, will you be willing to venture into any of these worlds? Let us know in the comments below.